In this lesson, I want to talk to you about backgrounds and how important it is to your story overall. You can be standing in front of a background like this, or you can be standing in front of a background like this. Background is an example of a real-world environment. This is a very plain kind of corporate video background, and the reason we picked this was so that we can have some sort of consistency through our videos. You can see through the lessons we change the color of the background to sort of keep cohesively within different lessons. Another great thing about this background is that we can set it up wherever we want, in any place we want, really. We can set up a quick professional looking backdrop in a house, in a garage, in an office. Really anywhere you are, you can set this up and it will still be the same background no matter what. So for this background, we're using a very inexpensive paper roll that you can buy at your local photo shop or video shop. This is done specifically by Savage. It's sitting on a pipe, which you can't see, is a backdrop, and it's just rolled across, and it's a roll of paper. This is great because you can make it as big or as small as you want. You can also cut off if it gets dirty, and you can even draw on it if you ever wanted to for any reason. Lighting for this type of backdrop is a little different than lighting a scene that has depth. We started with a key light. This is a nice big soft white source that's coming from behind the camera. It's diffused a lot, so I get a nice soft light on the subject. To get rid of shadows and to separate us from the backdrop, as well as making it look a little more professional, we added a gradient light. This is a tiny small light that's diffused right behind me, and it's putting a nice soft white light gradient that's on the backdrop. This really makes it pop and look even more professional, and will really work on any kind of wall or flat background that you have. Be a little careful of doing this with a white background. It might not work as well. We're going to go into more detail about lighting every scene in backdrop a little bit later, but for now I wanted to show you this gradient backdrop right here is really important for the light and the backdrop to work together to create this nice look. For a background that's in the real world, make sure that the background is all cleaned up and the items that are placed make sense to your story and what you're trying to tell. We're in a kitchen and we're talking about food stuff, so it makes sense to have bottles of wine and other little paraphernalia that have to do with the kitchen. This is also great for this kitchen because we have big giant windows that are letting in a lot of natural light. It's nice and soft and it lights the background very well. So just keep in mind when picking a spot in your house that you're going to have to think about lighting as well.